Hey, my pioneer was Erik Erikson. He was born June 15th, 1902 to May 12th, 1994. His theory was psychosocial development. This was created by Joe Sisk and presented by Joe Sisk. Erik Erikson's birth and family. Erik was born June 15th, 1902 in Frankfurt, Germany. His mother is Carla Abrahamson. She's a prominent Jewish family in Denmark. She had money, her family had money. She's married to Vladimir Stolzermanson. Carla was estranged from Vladimir when Erik was conceived. They was not together then. So they moved back to Germany because of conception was out of wedlock. Erik's biological father was unknown. One thing unknown about him, he was Jewish. Carla's estranged husband, Vladimir Schlossman, is a Jewish stockbroker. They left Europe within a day after their marriage. Then he went to North America. Carla's second husband, Theodore Homburger. At the age of 3, Erikson became sick. So Carla took Erikson to a local pediatrician, which was Theodore Homburger. The two fell in love and they were married. Erikson didn't know that Theodore was not his dad. He was not told he was his dad. He was told his dad at the age of 8 that Theodore was not his father. He never knew anything about his Vladimir Solzhenitsyn. Erik Erikson's early life. Erik was a tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy. He's of Jewish religion. He was a target of bigotry. When Erikson was at Temple School, he was teased for being Nordic. Erik's main interest is art, history, language, Dutch Husmandsatz Gymnasium. Graduation, he attended the School of Munich, much to the liking of his mother. And his so-called dad did not agree with that, but Erik dropped out of school after graduation. Traveled to Germany and Italy as an artist. He traveled there around doing sketches for people with his friend Peter Bloss. They sold and traded sketches for several years, almost 20 years. I guess after they did that for a while, then Erik returned to Karlsruhe as the art teacher. There he hired as heiress to sketch and tutor her children. While he was working the heiress in Karlsruhe, that he met Sigmund and Anna Freud. Sigmund and Anna Freud studied psychoanalysis at Anna Freud's encouragement. Anna wanted Erik to go and pursue his studies at Vienna Psychoanalytical Institute, where he specialized in child analysis. He graduated in 1933 with psychoanalytic and Montessori diploma. Erik's family. Erik moved to Vienna. In 1930, Erik married a Canadian woman named Joanne Searson. She was an artist and a dancer. They had 2 children in Germany, Kai and Joan. And they moved to the United States, and they had 2 children there also, Sue and Neil. While in the United States, in 1933, Erikson moved to the U.S. because of the Nazis. Here he became Boston's first child psychoanalyst. While in the United States, he held positions at Massachusetts General Hospital, Judge Baker Guidance Center, Harvard Medical School. 1936, Erikson left Harvard and joined Yale University. At Yale, he taught at the medical school. He said theory of development of thought was derived from his social and cultural studies. 1938, Erikson left Yale to study the Sioux tribe in South Dakota. 1939, Erikson moved to California he moved to the University of California at Berkeley. There at the University of Berkeley, he opened private practice child psychoanalysis in San Francisco. 1950, he published Childhood and Society, book. 1951 to 1960, Erikson taught at the Austin Riggs Center, where he worked with emotionally and troubled young people. 1960, Erikson returned to Harvard as a professor in human relations and retired in 1970. Erikson's psychosocial development. Erikson wrote 20 books on his research. One of his first and most popular books is The Childhood and Society. Also wrote The Life Cycle is Completed, and he wrote Identify and This Life Cycle. Forbes has created a page for Erikson on the stages of psychosocial development. The Forbes web page shows about each step in his theory. In 2002, Erikson ranked as the 12th most eminent psychosocialist of the 20th century. Erikson's influence on theory development. Erikson was influenced by Anne Freud on her encouragement to pursue the study of psychoanalysis. Her study of psychoanalysis helped Erikson proceed. Sigmund Freud's work on the theory of psychosexual development also encouraged Erikson. Freud's work ended at the teenage years. That kind of helped boost Erikson's study, because after the teenage years, Erikson kept on going. Erikson's studies kept on pursuing more to the adulthood years. Erikson's 8 stages of psychosocial development. Stage 1, trust versus mistrust. Birth to 18 months. Stage 2, anatomy versus shame and doubt. 18 months to 3 years. Stage 3, initiative versus guilt. Preschool years from 3 to 5. Stage 4, industry versus inferiority. Middle school from age 6 to age 11. Stage 5, identity versus confusion. 10 years from 12 to 18. Stage 6, intimacy versus isolation. That's young adult years from age 18 to 40. Stage 7, gravity versus stagnation. Middle age from 40 to 65. Stage 8, integrity to despair. Older adulthood from 65 to death. Is Erikson's theory proven? Well, has been proven difficult to create objectives to evaluate Erikson's theory. Erikson uses famous men to test his theories. The theory is more applicable to boys than girls, from studies that's been taken. What has Erikson's theory done for teaching now? We can use Erikson's theory in the classroom as well in our own lives. Like stage 1, the trust and mistrust stage. Use this in more than just birth to 18 months. We have students that are all well past birth. If we can show them that they can trust us as teachers, then we will help the students grow even more in the class as well as the person. All of Erikson's stages of development can be used in the classroom every day. We just have to use them as we see them appropriately. Children love and want to be loved, they very much prefer the joy and applause to triumph the hateful failure. Do not mistake a child for a symptom. That's Erik Erikson's quote.